Save money and refinancing your home mortgage. Rates are at historic lows. Refinancing could save you tens of thousands of dollars, but not for everybody. Vera Gibbons is an MSNBC financial analyst. Good to see you.
Good morning. I want to see you.
Well, you too. 5 banks yesterday, a $35 billion deal to help people refinance and get out from under their underwater homes.
Right.
How does this work?
Multi-billion-dollar deal. Just a huge one involving 5 of the nation's largest banks. Going to help those distressed homeowners. A large portion of the money is going to be allocated specifically to those who are underwater. The problem is we have 11 million Americans who are in this predicament, 1 in 5, and those will probably help about 1 million of them at best. So it's not a silver bullet. It's not going to solve the problems of the housing crisis.
But it's a start.
It is a start.
Okay, now let's talk about people who may qualify for refinancing. How much money are we talking about saving?
A lot. In fact, there's a survey recently out that shows 14 million creditworthy Americans have yet to refi. They haven't refied, and they're overpaying their monthly mortgage by an average of $471.
Which over 10 years?
Oh, about $57,000 collectively. They're
Wow.
leaving this money on the table. They haven't refinanced for any number of reasons. They don't feel like it. They don't think they're going to qualify. They don't want to deal with the process. You don't want to leave that money on the table.
How do you know if you're eligible?
Well, there's a lot of hoops you're going to jump through, right? So you've got to have at least 20% equity in your home based on its current appraised value. You should also consider, if you're planning on staying put, a minimum of 3 years in your home. And if you can reduce your interest rate by 3/4 of a percentage point or more, then you're a good candidate.
You mentioned being creditworthy. You said first thing you got to do, check your credit report.
Well, right. The rates we keep talking about, 4%, 60-year lows, those are reserved for those that have the best credit, right? So 740. Now, if you have a score of 720, you may be able to get 4.5%, but not 4%. So you need to know where you stand, and that's why you want to get a copy of your credit report from annualcreditreport.com. Check it out. Make sure it's accurate. Everything's up to date, because the error rate on these things is something like 70%, if not higher. And that you could be denying credit altogether. Sure. Just by a simple mathematical error.
Whether you're refinancing or not, you ought to at least check this out.
Yes, you should check it out.
Also, you also have to point out the fact is that refinancing isn't free.
Right. You've really got to run the numbers. This is the only way to really make sure whether or not it makes sense for you. You've got to look at total savings, less costs, less fees. There are refi calculators that can help you, but the closing costs have actually gone up. They're up 9% year over year because of all the government regulation.
In fact, we've got 5 of the most expensive states.
New York. Lovely,
there we
right?
go.
Surprise, surprise. We're talking
Texas.
Yeah, I know. That's also sort of surprising. On average, let's say you had a $200,000 loan, you're looking potentially at about $4,000 in closing costs. Again, because of all the hoops that lenders now make you jump through, that's mean additional staffing for them, and they pass those costs on down to you, the consumer. A
lot of us make the mistake. We're kind of lazy. We've got our mortgage at one bank, so we think we got to refi with them.
Not necessarily. I mean, sometimes they give you the best rate, and sometimes they don't. So it's in your best interest to actually comparison shop. Look around. Get half a dozen quotes. There are apps like Zillow, for example, that makes the process easy. You can streamline the process. You can see rates side by side, do your comparison shopping that way, and also see what other people have to say about their experience with a lender. Reviews, ratings, all very important.
And you see, you get together financial documents.
ASAP. I mean, there's so much paperwork. So I think as soon as you even so much as think about doing a refi, you've got to get it together. 2 years worth of tax documents, tax statements, pay stubs, asset statements, bank statements, brokerage statements, the whole 9 yards. And if you've been self-employed or have had spotty income, brace yourself for scrutiny.
And then lock in the rates, your rates.
Lock in the rates, get the application, get everything done, and then hurry up and wait, because it's taking about 60 days to get these things through versus the old day with about 30 days, which is what
because everybody's trying to refinance. Okay, very good.
There you go.
Some great advice. Could save us some money. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Al.